Welcome to Tennessee on Tap, episode 5. We drink the 2023 Yazoo Embrace the Funk Fest. We had the opportunity to go down there alongside our producer, Thomas. We'll talk about that in section 2. In section 3, we got May the 4th pub crawl. We talk about how we just scrolled around in Gallatin and had a great time that night. I also want to say we are international folks. That's right. We have listeners in the United States, United Kingdom, Brazil, and Canada. Sit back, relax, and grab a cold one. We're Tennessee on Tap. Kenny Thomas and I had the opportunity to go down to Yazoo's Funkfest 2023 this year, and in doing so, we picked up 3 bottles of the Funkfest 23, or the Greetings from Nashville Grape Ale, as described on Untapped. It is a 9% Belgian triple with 2-year-old spontaneously fermented coolship ale conditioned with Shiraz grapes, boysenberries, and telecherry peppercorns. They have their glasses poured. I'm going to do the
Bottle boy.
Bottle boy.
All right, I'm waiting to take a sip till we can have a little cheers.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers for the boys.
Cheers for the boys.
All right, let's taste her.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's really delicious.
The tartness from the cherries.
It's actually a little less sour than I anticipated.
Yeah, I think the berries kind of mellow it out. But I think it's a Belgian triple. It's not really supposed to be a sour. I think it's just tart.
Yeah, tart's there.
We're drinking out of our complimentary Funkfest glasses that were given to us to try all the other delicious brews. We did get to check out Yazoo Tap Room for a quick beer.
Yes, that is where we went to go pick up our commemorative 2023 Funkfest bottles.
Mm-hmm. The color on this is like beautiful. It's like a deep red, almost like a deep magenta.
Very wine-esque.
I don't know what's everyone's take on mouth noises when you're trying beers or wines or
listening to a podcast.
I guess listening to the podcast. I mean,
You don't want to hear someone making weird mouth sounds.
I want to know what everyone feels about David's mouth sounds specifically. That's all I care about.
Yeah, can we specifically get some feedback? Email us at TennesseeOnTap@gmail.com and or hit us up on our Instagram, Tennessee on Tap, to let us know how much you hate David's dumb mouth.
they're not that dumb. I mean, come on, man. I do like it. It's weird. It's definitely a weird beer, but
No, it is delicious though. Like you said, the color is magenta-esque, very kind of looks like you had a glass of wine in front of you, honestly.
yeah, apparently Allie already drank hers
Oh, what are her
really?
thoughts?
like that night. She thought it was really good. She didn't know what the ABV was.
Allie, also a friend of the pod, sticker approved.
Sticker approved. Well, she said it was really good. She didn't know the ABV, so she drank it within a few hours.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see how this is going to be like toward the end of the pod. Just being able to like aerate a little bit more, let that aroma kind of escape from the carbonation a little bit more.
What do you think about the bottle that
Yes.
Kenny, excuse me.
A little
You gotta describe it.
bottle chat.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it just has the Funkfest logo. They're not really trying to go super crazy with it, just letting you know what you got in your hand, really.
Well, the nickname of it was Welcome to Nashville, and I think they get the postcard vibe off of the front.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
look like a postcard.
I think that's kind of a cool kind of setting that they did for it.
Yeah, it definitely has a postcard vibe. I didn't really notice that until you just said that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Greetings from Funkfest.
Yeah, on the side of it, it's also got the Embrace the Funk logo.
Yes, I described that logo in the last episode and think I did kind of a piss poor job of it, but it's a wonderful logo. Look it up. You can find it. It's out there. They do a great job.
Can we get our new producer to look up what's
Our
it?
new producer?
Yeah, the telecherry peppercorns. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, our new producer. Left screen.
Left screen.
What do you think, Thomas? What do you think about this beer?
I mean, I think it's good. It's definitely not a beer that I would normally be drinking, but I've definitely more embraced. Well, I've embraced the funk, as it were. I've
Yes.
started recently to drink more sours because of you two, and this is definitely one that is very good.
Okay, what do we got?
So, for our description of what a telecherry peppercorn is, it says with an aroma that is citrusy and grassy with hints of cedar, cherries, and juniper. Telecherry peppercorns are considered to be some of the finest peppercorns in the world. Unlike the Malabar peppercorn, telecherry berries are left to ripen on vines longer, which allows a much fuller flavor to develop.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's something I was actually really curious about, which I guess we could have looked it up prior to recording, but
It's more fun this way.
I was like, I was a little confused about a peppercorn flavor in a beer, but I don't know anything. I'm just a guy who likes beer, man.
I like it. I don't know if it really like speaks through it, but
I just like to try stuff, man. I like to try new things.
Exactly.
As our friend Kyle said in the last episode, life's short, so might as well try them all.
Yep.
that's right. Try them all. Hopefully they're good. I like this though. I think it's a good bottle to kind of like remember what we enjoyed that day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm definitely gonna be keeping this empty bottle though.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna go on my display.
David, if you could give us a description of what a spontaneous ale, on the bottle.
Spontaneous fermentation.
Could you give the?
It kind of
listeners a
sounds like it would
description?
be a wild fermentation. Honestly, we'd have to really look into it.
I will say David does know a bit more than me about the beer world. He's been in the industry a little longer than I have, so I usually have questions for him. Don't you I'm gonna have to cut all that out.
Yeah, so it's kind of like wild fermentation for at least mead. That's where I've seen it. Spontaneous fermentation is what happens when a brewer, winemaker, or distiller leaves the inoculation or the moment when yeast and bacteria comes in contact with the liquid up to whatever organisms happen to be in the air or on the fruit that they are fermenting. So if it's a 2-year one, that means they did it with another one and they kept the yeast strain going. That's kind of like what I want to do when I start home brewing mead. Is I want to just leave it out with a cheesecloth over it so bugs don't get in and just wait for whatever Mother Nature throws at me with yeast in the air. That'll just start to ferment and you now have alcohol in a couple weeks.
Gotcha.
So that tends to be the more like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird yeasts that are out there, especially, what's another beer, for example? Briar Scratch, he was swabbing stuff at the brewery and he found a fermentable yeast on briars. So obviously we're going to use a briar yeast at Briar Scratch. We've used that yeast for that beer, for Plum Tuckered. Yeah, it's a cool process. Obviously we didn't wild ferment for that. It just happened to find it and then the guy took it and cultivated it and made more so then we can use it in the batch.
Okay, gotcha.
So a lot of like weird sours you could usually, it's a little bit easier to do. Kind of cool that they've done it for I guess 2 years now. It's a 2-year-old yeast. A lot of brewers yeast, you get a couple of batches out of it, then you got to repitch it, Any more questions, Kenny?
At what age did you realize you were a bitch?
Yes, I'm so glad. So glad that just happened. Thank you, Kenny.
We're gonna go there.
You didn't answer my question.
Probably 12. Probably 12.
12, that young?
Yeah.
Sounds accurate.
What else we got on there? Belgian triple, Shiraz grapes. It's funny because Shiraz is like one of my favorite styles of wine too.
See, I don't know anything about that. I'm not a big wine guy myself.
I like to say I don't discriminate against alcohol. That's like my big thing. It's like I will try any kind of alcohol. Malort, for example.
Oh, Thomas, can we hear your first experience with Malort? Actually, first, let's have David give a description of what Malort is.
Yeah.
Malort is a wormwood liquor that was created in Chicago a while ago. It's not pleasant. I don't know why I consume it, but first time I had it was in a bar named Scotty's up in Wisconsin on a work trip, and it was kind of like a rite of passage to be part of it because they've been going to that bar for years, and every time they go up there, they all get shots of Malort to say, "Hey, you're here, welcome back." So it was my time, and then we played dice, and then I ended up having to pay for like the tab at the bar because I lost a dice game or something, and that included more Malort. So when I came back to Tennessee, I bought a bottle, and I've had the majority of the guys drink it, including when we got back from the Funk Fest. I had 2 swigs of it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually, I was just looking up a little history about Yazoo in general. I wasn't aware that the brewery was actually once located where Marathon Motorworks is, which is right next to Marathon Music Works for fans of live music. Yeah, I didn't know that. And then eventually went to the Gulch, but now they're located in Madison.
Yeah, they were, what was it, the Gerst House? I think they were the Gerst House. But yeah, so Thomas, how was your first
Well,
trip
I
around the
guess
Malort?
since that happened to you, you decided to trick people into drinking it. And
It's not tricking, it's convincing. There's a difference.
There is a big difference.
I
Convincing is
fully
one thing, but when you-
tell you how bad it is.
You didn't that night. You were like, oh, it's Malort. You didn't really describe it. You're like, it smells pretty good. And you're like, let me smell it. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And that was about it. You didn't.
Oh.
You never gave any backstory as to your first experience with it or anything like that. And you're just like, yeah, try this. And I did.
It's
And
best. It's best
potent.
described. I'm going to say the PG way, and I'm not going to say the rated R way. PG way is taking a bite of grapefruit rind and then chasing it with a shot of gasoline.
Yeah.
And then it lingers for about, I don't know, hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you drink afterward. Malort comes back.
Malort's just there.
Yeah.
I'll say it the R-rated way. It's like getting throat fucked by a gasoline pump.
I would say Sharpie, but yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience.
Yeah, but once
I
you
wouldn't
have it,
drink
you're used to
again.
it. Like it doesn't.
Maybe if I were drinking it consistent, what the word? I can't say it. Consistently, it would be something I would be able to get used to.
When Brad comes on,
2 back-to-back shots.
when
the other
Brad
night
comes
and
on,
acting
we
like
are
it was
doing a shot of
nothing.
Malort on the show.
I don't think it's meant to
Oof.
have consistently.
Yeah, I mean, even if I had it like once a day, I don't even feel like it would never be good. I don't know how it would ever be something I'd be like, yes, Malort time.
Malort time.
It's funny because when I ordered the bottle, the people at the liquor store was like, "Is this for like a joke or like, do you enjoy this?"
Are you sure?
I was like,
Did you mean?
yes, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's mine. We had Malort.
We also tried the
Undenberg. Yes.
A bitter.
Kenny wasn't a fan of that.
What was it? You described it's a aperitif.
Yeah, it's like an aperitif. It's supposed to settle your stomach if you're bloated, stuff like that. So I thought having a little one after having a day of sours would be a good idea.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought it was.
It just made me drool in the sink.
Yeah. Kenny was not a fan.
No, he wasn't.
I didn't throw up.
Yeah,
but
you were pretty close. I thought you were for a second. I was like, and Thomas was standing right in front of him. I was kind of rooting on that you were gonna throw up, so they would go with Thomas.
Hey, well, one of you would have to clean it up.
It probably would have been me, but it probably would have been worth it.
I'll keep that in mind for next time.
We did do a lot of convincing to get you to do that.
Yeah,
but I'd say either way, I would take a Funk Fest 2023 over a Malort or a aperitif any day.
Underberg. I will say, Funk Fest was Funkfest was fun. We'll get into that in the next section. But yeah, it was a fun thing. This bottle pretty much. I don't know. I just remember having so many different things that this.
It's like a really good wrap to the festival. It's like
yeah.
having this after going to the festival and waiting a day to record and actually try this specific bottle that is for the festival.
See, it's getting better that it's getting like room temp.
It does seem as if it's a little sour, like a little more sour, if that makes sense.
Tart.
No, like I got the tart initially, but it seems as like the more it gets closer to room temp, the more the like a little bit of sour starts to pop out to me. That could just be me, but
It's definitely
stop.
It's definitely really good. It's a like
don't
David
know what
said,
the
it's
people
a
want.
slow sipper. It does really remind me of some wine. It's a very like tart, strong flavor. Doesn't linger very long.
It leaves that sort of dry feel on the like front of my tongue
Yeah.
as like a dry red wine would.
That would be kind of like a Shiraz. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's my least, like, as a person who I said is not a big, huge fan of wine, at least. Like, I like wine. I'm not going to go out and buy some wine specifically because I was like, oh, I really want that. But, like, I'll try wine. So the fact that you even compare it to that doesn't make sense to me because I'm just like, nope, they all just taste dry and grapes to me. Well, not all of them. Obviously you have, like, Chardonnays and stuff, but.
I got thrown into the wine industry first before beer at the liquor store I was working at in Jersey.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was fun. And then I turned into their gin guy, which was kind of weird because no one liked gin.
Worse.
Oh, I love gin.
Oh,
I told you, I don't
like
discriminate
gin.
alcohol. I'll try any kind of alcohol at least once.
I'll drink it. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Malort.
I'm going to get a Malort sign for this room.
I hope you do.
I'm going to
Advertise it.
Order.
It's going to happen.
The only reason you want to get a Malort sign is so you can trick more people. It's so good that we bought a sign.
We have a sign
Yeah, right.
for it.
Ooh.
Some bubbles in there.
You'll always miss 100% of the Malort shots you don't take.
Fucking hate you.
That's the only Malort sign that came up.
That's actually a sign.
Yeah.
I really hate how this conversation keeps just going back to Malort. Can we just forget that it's a thing, please?
I mean, we can.
Can we just bury it deep down into the dirt and never, ever, ever talk about it again?
Never speak of
I
it.
can't promise never, ever, ever.
But like maybe just one ever.
Maybe.
Maybe two nevers. Never, never, ever.
I think that we should have used different glassware to highlight the aroma.
But it matches.
True. And I'm all about the style.
I'm all about aesthetics. I'm the OCD guy.
That is true. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it that it's mellowing out.
Like I said, not quite what I expected, but it's delicious.
Yeah, and the staff at Yazoo when we were getting the bottles, super cool.
Oh yeah, wonderful people up there at Yazoo.
His name isn't Kevin, but he was wearing Kevin's shirt. What was his name?
Was it Brandon? No, that was he was telling us the story of how he wore a Brandon shirt.
Yeah. Was it
because the same thing happened.
Frank?
It was something.
I don't remember, but
I feel like it might have been kind of a weird name now that I'm thinking about it.
I don't know. The dude was cool. He was doing
really cool.
tours. So shout out to you, man. I gave you a sticker.
Sticker approved.
Mhm.
Yes, he seemed like a rad guy.
No, he was telling us a story about how he was at the bar the night before, and Yazoo makes these mechanic shirts and bowling shirts that have random name tags on them, so you can just buy one. Obviously I'm Kenny, but you can just get one that says like Steven.
I picked one up and it says Shelton.
So, yeah, he was wearing one, and before I could even say his name, based off of what his name tag said, he was like, "Yeah, I was at that bar last night, and had a couple drinks, and went to go pay my tab, and they're like, yeah, so what was it on his shirt, Brandon or something?"
Brandon.
He's like, "Yeah, Brandon knows us this much," and he's like, "Not me." I don't know that guy.
He did actually eventually pay his tab, but
Yeah.
As far as we know,
that's the fun aspect.
but yeah, that's always fun. I
Yeah,
used
Yazoo,
to-
a really nice spot though. It overlooks, I guess the one, I guess the Cumberland.
I think it overlooks the
Yeah.
Cumberland. It's,
Um,
beautiful location. When we got there were folks outside doing some yoga.
I think it was Pilates. That was the
Pilates.
conversation we walked up on. Was like, pretty sure it's Pilates. No, I'm pretty sure it's yoga.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really
What's
nice
the difference?
They had a glizzy stand outside.
spot. Yep.
Which I was actually shocked we didn't get any.
I was shocked that you guys didn't get any.
I really wanted
I was
to.
saving room for the food at the Funk Fest.
Oh, I'm glad we did. We'll talk about it.
So
Oh God.
But yeah, not really cool location. I'd never been to the Yazoo one before, so it was nice to get to go and stop by there.
yeah, man, seems like a solid setup there going.
Yeah.
Got a little merch
Finally got
store.
to cross
got
that
the-
off my list.
Like a 4 to 6 door. Can't quite remember, but like 4 to 6 door refrigeration system where you can stop in and grab yourself a 4 or 6 pack of whatever they got there at the time.
Yeah, I think they had a massive selection. I'm assuming it's just all of what they have offered right now.
They had both the beers that we tried on the previous episode available.
Yeah.
Yep.
Citralux and what was the other?
The
Can confirm
Fodder
it was
fruits,
Citralux.
Yes, we can
Citralux.
confirm officially now from Yazoo employees. It is Citralux.
And
Still don't have
David's
a
just an
meaning behind
idiot.
it. We don't know what we should have asked that. Now that I think about it,
And
Got
they
down
actually,
to the
so they
bottom
have
of
two
that.
different. They have Fodder fruits and they have Fruiter something else.
Fruiter Fodes.
I forget.
I know what you're talking about. I saw
Yeah.
They have two beers because I remember talking to somebody about it and they're like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's the other one." I'm like, "There's no R." So I'm like, "I don't know why you're saying it with an R." They're like, "That's just how it said." I was like, "I'm pretty sure it's a different beer."
Maybe they're a pirate.
R.
Arr.
Ooh, we got to record on Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Pirates. I wish all pirates had pretty hair like you.
We need to record on Talk Like a Pirate Day and just talk like pirates.
Is that actually a day?
September 19th.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I know
Put
that.
that one on the calendar.
Already there.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm like that. It's fine. Yeah, this is good. I'm a fan. Good job. Good job, Yazoo. As always, you guys have always had great beer. Especially the Vanilla Sue. Bring back the Vanilla Sue.
But there was a vanilla Sue.
Dude.
my name is Sue.
Vanilla Sue. I think it was their anniversary beer. And it came out and James Russell was still bartending. And he was super excited about it. And I was like, I don't know, man. And let me tell you, that beer, Sue is already like a stellar
Sue is one of my favorite
beer.
beers.
with a little bit of vanilla to it.
I don't think I've never had the vanilla Sue.
Yeah, not many people have had it.
Yeah.
One-
Sue is
the
great.
Yazoo Heffy was probably one of my first favorite beers for a long time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Used to crush those with my dad back in the day. Well, he would buy the mixed pack and crush the IPAs before I was into them, and I would drink all the Heffies
Yeah.
and the which one is it? The Gerst.
Oh yeah. Gerst is one of
I'm
my,
excited
one of my top
'cause-
favorite beers too.
Once we get rid of, we have 2 nitro beers to get through. Then I'm going to get the Gerst on nitro.
Ooh.
Oh, God, it's so good.
On tap at Prince Street Pizza and Pub, unofficial sponsor.
Prince Street Pizza. I was going to say something, but I'm
Such
not
a
allowed to
heavy
say it yet.
Prince
So I
Street
won't.
Pizza.
I won't say it yet.
Are you trying to reveal secrets before their time?
Yes, I will do it
Mm.
off air.
Yeah.
Where's the on air sign?
It's behind you in a little pouch shelf in the slouch. If anybody wants to purchase us some AA batteries,
I need
Yeah.
it for my Nerf needler.
Nerf Needler.
our poor on air sign is struggling.
Newest addition to the Dude Dungeon is a fantastic.
Thank you for
needler.
using its proper name.
Oh, I gotta.
Mm. If there's one thing I know about Thomas, he's quite a proper boy.
But sticker approved.
Yeah, butt sticker approved.
Butt sticker.
I have those somewhere.
Is that like
Yeah,
is that
separate-
like
separate
pasties for
stickers.
your ass cheeks? Butt stickers.
I think it's about time we take a break.
Yeah.
Yes,
Any
sir.
final thoughts on the beer?
Absolutely funking delicious.
Funking. Look at that. Puns.
Puns are
So, Yazoo Funkfest 2023.
What an absolutely incredible time.
Jeez, was it fun.
was a blast.
I tried at least 10 beers. I think y'all were a couple more than me.
I'd say a couple more than a couple.
Yeah.
I should have kept track.
So there were close to 50 different
impossible to do that.
stands or breweries, if you will.
Some that we knew, some that were locals.
Fairly sure I tried every one of them. Not every beer from every stand, but I'm fairly sure I tried every stand.
I think
there.
we went to every stand.
Because I remember at one point specifically,
I tried the beet one was actually really good.
I actually wish I would have tried that. I'm gonna have to get in contact with my boy.
The 2022 Muscadine was a mixed cultured farmhouse ale.
Indeed.
It was really good. It was called the Branches. I also tried the Green Tomato.
I didn't try
beer.
that one either. I just tried both the branches, the
Proliptic?
2021 and 2022 version. I will say I think the 2021 was better in my opinion, but I mean, clearly it's had a little age time.
Oh no, I kind of stayed off to the side. I was talking to the sales manager for Yazoo, Ken.
Yes.
When I finally found him.
Yeah.
And we got to try the Russian River Small Batch Series 2022 Promase beer.
That was a big deal. People
Yeah, it
were
was a
very
huge deal.
excited about that.
It was awesome. Oh, Ken's in the background of this photo. That's fine.
That was the IPA, correct? No? Well, there was another one. There was an IPA that
this
they
was
had.
a ale aged in red wine.
Oh,
barrels with
yes.
grapes.
Okay, yeah. No,
it was
so
the
that was-
10.2.
That was the first one we tried, and then the second one was a extremely piney hoppy IPA.
Yeah,
that they had. There was another podcast there that were doing a live recording.
The All About Beer.
Yes, All
show?
About Beer.
Yeah.
All About Beer show. Mr. John, who's up in New Jersey, actually. I got his card. I sent him an email. So, in conversation with him now.
Yeah, they were pouring those beers out during the recordings.
Yeah, they were doing live tastings. It was really cool.
I was a big fan of the Barrique beers. Barrique was there.
Barrique always has solid beers.
As far as local goes, I feel like Barrique, Barrique and Harding House and obviously Yazoo. I don't think there were any other local breweries around.
Yeehaw was there.
Oh, Yeehaw? I didn't even see Yeehaw.
They were there.
Maybe I didn't try all of them then.
Who else was there?
I know unlocally, what was it? I was literally talking about them earlier today. I know exactly which one you're talking about as well. They're from St. Louis, correct?
Yeah. What was it? Golden
Second
Path?
Shift.
Second Shift, yeah.
Second Shift Brewery.
Yeah, they were cool. Those were
Yes.
cool people.
Second Shift was there. There was another brewery from Florida. I think it was Miami, possibly. They were good.
I know you're talking about.
That's my description.
We got to try some Orval, some Trappist Monk
Yeah,
beer.
I really like that one. I also like the New Belgium. It was that maple one.
Oh, yeah.
New Belgium was there.
Lafroy,
Yeah, you let me try a little bit
Reserve.
of that.
Upstate Maple. It was a really good one.
I wish I could remember the name of that brewery that we tried that were kind of off to the side. The people who had the pink shirts.
Orval.
Yeah, that was
Was that
Orval.
Orval?
Yeah.
Was that them?
Yeah.
That was such a good. She described it as like an IPA start, like kind of an IPA front. I didn't really get that. To me, it tasted almost like a light lager that was semi champagne-ish.
Yeah.
Like it was very carbonated.
That was the Trappist ale.
Yep. That was cool. Who else who we talked to?
I said I ran into my friend Will from Harding House.
The food was just, I don't know. I was blown away by the food.
It was phenomenal. It was really, really good.
Creature Comforts was there.
Oh yeah, Creature Comforts.
Out of Athens.
Forgot about them.
Athens, Georgia.
Shout out to Ewan.
Yep.
The boy.
The Ewan. It was a good conversation. It was everyone in there was just really happy to talk about their products, and I don't think there was anything I didn't like.
The Bloomy Rind, the cheese company.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the cheese.
And
Cheese was good.
absolute
Frothy Monkey was
Frothy
there.
Monkey.
I know I grabbed some kombucha. We have some coffee to try still.
Some of their cold.
I
brew.
tried it yesterday.
How was it?
Good. It was really good. I just, personally, I'm not a big coffee guy. I did.
Oh, you're sensitive. I'm so proud you can admit that.
As far as caffeine goes, yes, very much so. But I slow sipped on that cold brew all day yesterday, and yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty tasty. Put a little bit of milk in mine because I'm a little coffee bitch.
Coffee bitch.
But yeah, man, it was a wonderful event. Everybody there was super kind. Just great time. A lot of great conversations.
Yeah, we met some pretty good people. We talked to a good amount of people about the podcast. Everyone was super curious.
Yep, giving out a lot of
away some
stickers, as many as we had on us.
Many more sticker-approved people out there these days.
Especially the guy that didn't watch football, but his wife did, and she was a Green Bay fan.
Yeah.
We're not dissing the Green Bay, but
I love cheese.
Yeah, we're all cheese fans.
We're all cheese.
Aaron Rodgers can suck it, but cheese is great.
He's on the Jets now. We won't talk about him. He's just following the footsteps of Brett Favre. Hopefully he doesn't go to the Vikings, but
I was giving her such a hard time about that. I was like, watch. Last season he'll go to the Vikings. She was like, I will cry.
A lot of Green Bay fans would. It was good. What else was there? I mean, I had a couple liquid deaths. Those were available. Obviously, Undenberg was there too.
Yeah.
I was very surprised because I didn't realize that Embrace the Funk was actually in a separate location from the actual brewery itself of Yazoo.
Yeah.
So when we pulled up, we were a little confused, thinking, because I guess the other half of the building is like owned by Pella Windows, and so we're like, are we about to go into a Pella factory?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, but we ended up walking around the side, and it was just a big old tent in a parking lot. Everyone having a great time, smoking some meats, drinking some beers.
Got the
Actually,
VIP bracelets.
I talked to Ken about that. I think they've been there for I think he said 10 years. They've had that facility.
Oh wow!
And just keep that all separate.
I would imagine so, just because it's
Yeah.
it's the funky yeast and
Yeah,
bacteria that they use for sours.
Contaminate any
Yeah.
beers. So.
That's actually very smart.
Yeah.
I like that they do that. But I was actually talking to a buddy of mine I work with, Kramer, today. Shout out to his podcast, The Bearded Tastings. He was telling me about that, and I was like, yeah, man, we showed up and we couldn't find the place at first. We thought we were at Pella Windows. He goes, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's like, yeah, I thought the same thing the first time I went there too.
Yep.
It was definitely a fun for the craft brewers out there this weekend. The Funkfest, I guess, kicked off the CBC, the Craft Brewers Conference.
Yeah, that's Kramer said he was at Barrique all day.
Yeah, so we can go down there if we want to. Like, we know enough people in the beer world to go down there.
Quit flexing on him, David.
No, the problem is right now is that like there's so much extra beer going to that distribution is just going nuts.
He told me, my friend I was just talking about at work, Kramer, told me today that when he walked into Barrique, it was so busy. He waited like 20 something 30 minutes for a beer. He said there was as many suitcases in there as there were people. Like, people were just getting off the plane
and going straight
to Barrique to like just start tasting the beers.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
nobody even went to their hotels first.
This is a huge conference.
They were going straight there just to have some tasting. Is like suitcases in hand.
What makes it like even worse is we had Taylor Swift Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh yeah.
So you're talking about all the influx of the 70,000 per day. Now having the CBC.
I'll let you talk about that.
What, Swift?
Yeah,
I'm not going to get into it.
I'll stay far away from that subject.
She's just doing her stadium stuff. So it's just funny that we have this huge influx on people, and Nashville can take it for sure, but these small breweries don't understand the crowd that's coming into Nashville. It was like when the draft came to Nashville, we had the influx of almost 1 million people.
Well,
in the city.
Well, I said Nissan. I actually read today. It said it was like 70,000.
Yeah,
which didn't sound like the right number to me, Because I know the stadium, like the stands alone, can hold like close to 69, and they had people on the field and behind the stage.
Yeah.
Like it had to have been more than 70K.
And it wasn't sold out.
But I mean that though, compared to like you just said the NFL draft, that was 600,000 attendees.
Yeah, nuts. Which hasn't happened for a draft.
If you look at the stats about that, actually, like in the past 10 years, the closest there's been is like 350 to 4.
Yeah, even in
Like,
Vegas.
and 4 is stretching it.
Even in Vegas, they didn't even have that
Like
many.
it was like most of them are like 250K.
It just shows
like
that Nashville's ready for all these big events, and the city might be, but the small local businesses aren't.
Yeah.
You know?
They weren't ready.
No. So like we just found out, WrestleMania is coming in 2027. So
Hell yeah, brother.
that's right. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, guaranteed. Written into the new stadium, WrestleMania will be in Nashville within the next, I don't know.
Starting tickets, $1,200.
I'm gonna put down a down payment right now.
Yeah.
I actually wish I cared about wrestling still.
I would just go to say
I would
went
just
to
go and be
WrestleMania.
confused and be like, why is Jake Paul on stage? This is weird.
Where's John Cena?
Where's Shawn Michaels?
Get it? You can't see him.
You can't see him.
Yeah.
It's funny because he's invisible.
I'm not your boy toy.
That reel I sent you earlier of that MLB player getting just kicked in the chin.
Yeah.
I actually commented on that post and I said, by God, sweet chin music.
No, Funkfest was I hope it was as successful as it seemed.
There was quite a crowd.
Quite a group.
It was wonderful, man. I mean, like I said, everyone was just super inviting and kind. Everyone seemed like they were having a great time.
Yeah.
I did see one poor guy look like he went a little too hard and
Got a little slump.
a little sloshy and
Yeah.
kind of taking a little nap on a table.
Oh, the guy
Yeah.
inside.
He's there about-
Yeah.
Maybe he was just a little tired. I don't know. A little tuckered out. He's a little sleepy boy.
Yeah.
That's
It
funny.
was funny though, from when we got there, from when we left, just the difference in the way people were acting, because obviously everyone was drinking.
Oh, once
Right.
it was just
once the
it
liquid courage
progressively
got flowing.
like, more silly around.
Well, that was the
area.
funny thing. Like we were all wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
So at first, people were just coming up to me for my mullet, and then we were talking about Tennessee on Tap. And then once people started drinking, they're like, "Oh, look at those guys with those shirts!" Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is that shirt?
Yeah, I'm
And then we
about
told
to,
him, so-
I'm about to
Tennessee on Tap. I gotta ask, what is Tennessee on Tap?
I'm about to wait till you're asleep one night and just like dye the back of your mullet a Tennessee on Tap logo. So it's like at least people know why we're here.
Only if I can take off a limb for each one of your figures. You're not gonna be told which limb, and it'll be different per figure.
Fair.
You never get them back.
I'll take that.
Fair trade.
Fair trade.
That's funny. I'm just saying, the mullet was a success.
It's never not been one.
True. It's true. It's nice.
Fair.
It's been put in the history books at this point. 2022 65th best mullet in the nation. I mean, I told my grandmother about that earlier. She had been I was on the phone with her earlier. She's been up to Prince Street once before, but she came there right at opening, like 11 a.m. Of course, our good buddy Nate shows up. So I was talking to her earlier, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't think I've met your friend that you do your podcast with." And she was like, "Wait, did I meet him at Prince Street that one day?" And I was like, "No, that was Nate." She was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, you'd know." She was like, "Why?" I was like, "He has a mullet." She goes, "Oh yeah, your dad did tell me about that." And I was like, 65th or 65th best in the nation.
66th.
Was it? I thought it was 65th.
No, 66th.
Well, I've been telling everybody you're a little better than you are.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a nice confidence boost.
Well, you're ugly. So, sorry. I'm just here for ego boosts and ego checks. I got to make sure I keep the balance.
That's right.
It was so good. I don't know if it was because it just settled.
I don't know if I'm there yet.
I just finished mine off.
It has progressively gotten.
It seemed like
I can't really even describe it.
it's obviously it's because it's been sitting and settling, but like I would describe it as the way is like when when I'm packaging beer out of a tank, how the end has that darker color. But usually you'll see that because of like the leftover fruit or whatever that's in the tank.
Sediment.
Yeah, the sediment, if you will. Not yeast. Like, I mean, you do have that sometimes at the bottom of your tank, but not yeast. David has a bottle on his head. What was your biggest takeaway from Funkfest, Thomas?
Was that your first?
My first beer festival.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a takeaway other than just that it's. I don't know. It's always fun to be around a group of people who are just there to have some fun, be kind. Everyone was super nice and treated everybody really well. So just a all around like wholesome experience. It was really good.
Nice.
Kind of like, in a way, how David said earlier, he doesn't discriminate alcohol. That's kind of one thing I like about Beer Fest. It's like you don't really have a chance to.
Yeah,
You kind of just got to see what you.
keep going.
You got to try them all to see if you like them all.
Well, I mean, you can not like something they bring.
But you're going to want to try.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to try
Oh,
everything.
They were some delicious saisons.
Oh, yeah.
That's some really good saisons.
Yeah, that was the only thing was we really didn't see that many meads.
There weren't any.
There
I
weren't
saw
any meads,
no meads whatsoever.
No, there
were-
was
if
a
there were,
honey
they must-
beer. There was a Mel.
Only saying this because we were told there were going to be meads there.
Yeah.
That was in the description.
It was in the description. No meads, but by no mead, I'm not disappointed.
Exquisite drip, the beer del Mel.
God, I hate myself.
I took a picture of it. It's a honey beer.
Oh, gotcha.
Great picture.
That was
What
it.
were the
Oh, yeah, I
those
remember
two
that
beers
one.
you got when we left? That
One was
that
an
one guy
Italian
gave
Pilsner.
you.
One was an Italian Pilsner. I think one was
The
an
other one's a-
IPA.
No, it's
Yeah.
a Hell's.
Oh, the Hells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Hellas or Hells? Because I've heard both.
Google
Thought it
Translate.
was-
I don't know how to Google.
thought it was
Producer.
Hells.
I've always thought it was Hells, but I heard someone say Hellas the other day. You know, someone who knows more than me. So I was like, should I believe that?
Hmm.
In Germany, say it's a Helles or a Hell beer. Wasn't that common to call a beer Hell? Because it's a different meaning in English, right? Hell. It's not a beer. It's something.
Glad you just full YouTube something right now.
Hellas.
Hellas.
It's Hellas. Well,
Thank Doug Piper.
that makes sense because, like I said, a person who clearly knows more than me about beer. Said
It is
Hellas.
because you're not German like the rest of us.
You're about as German as
I'm super German. So.
just a
Uber, Uber German.
You're about as German.
Uber, yeah.
You're about as German
Uber.
as a pretzel bite. You heard me.
What did you say?
What did you say?
Don't make me call the bear Jew.
We won't go back into that conversation.
What about you guys? What was your takeaway from Funkfest, David? We'll start with you, Kenny. You're next.
No, thanks.
We only have limited options here on Tennessee on Tap.
I enjoyed being able to talk to strangers about beers. I do enjoy what I do at Prince where I'm like kind of talking about the beers. Like people ask me all the questions about the beer, but I like talking to someone who knows what they're talking about. Not someone that can just like BS their way through telling me
So you're admitting you don't know what you're talking about.
a style of beer. Like today, last night at work, a guy had never been or had never like really tried craft beer before. And his wife took him to a like beer thing. And I thought they were at the Funk Fest. They were describing this beer festival, but apparently another one was happening. So I guess it was the CBC or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned.
And he doesn't like craft beer, but he was like getting into it. And he said he really enjoyed like scotches and whiskeys and all that. And I got him a flight of beer. One beer I knew he would like, one beer I knew she would like, and then two kind of like mystery beers. And the way I was talking to them was kind of like basic. It was, Prince Street Pale Ale. I was talking about how it's a great beer to pair with pizza because the hops the malts are used complement both the vegetables and the meats on the pizza. You get that savory and that floral. So it's a good pair for like a supreme pizza. or I gave him the Big Falcon because he really liked the booziness, feel of a beverage. So the Big Falcon, it's a double batch of the Falcon. It's pretty boozy. I mean, you could definitely get that feel. So he loved that beer, and then he tried the Simcoe Triple.
I was about to say, did you give him the Tripel?
Yeah, so he loved both of those, and obviously they're both high ABV beers.
Simcoe's what, 9?
9.8 this year. I enjoy being able to talk to people about beer. It's very rare I can find someone that can talk about beer the way that like Brad and I can talk about beer.
Gotcha.
Someone that I don't already know. So it was nice to see strangers never met before being able to discuss beer like that, especially like the people that were on the panel for the other podcast that was there, or just the random strangers that we were talking to. So
yeah,
that's what I liked. I like
a more knowledgeable group of people.
Yeah,
instead of you just having to describe some stuff and that's it. It's more of a like
I like being taught a little bit more. I like yesterday was a big learning day. For me, that's what I liked.
What about you, Kenny?
Oh man, I guess I'd say my biggest takeaway from it was partially what you said, just kind of the vibes of the whole thing, and then also what David said. Like, but yeah, it just felt like going through like a beer gauntlet. Like everyone, just every table you went to, having people describe to you what went into the beer, like the type of beer it was, the process that they used to make it. It was a big learning session, and it was great. So not only are you sitting there having a great time and enjoying all these other people's company, and as David said, getting to talk to strangers that don't know things, you have 50 plus brewers there who can actually tell you, hey, this is what we did, this is how we made it, and this is why you should like it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'd say 97% of them were correct. I was like, you were right, I do really like this. Then again, it is Funkfest, so based essentially around sour beer for the most part, which is clearly one of my favorites.
I definitely felt that. I learned not learned some new things. I heard some new things that I hadn't heard before, and definitely some stuff that I need to check out myself. I'd like to learn more about beer personally, because obviously I have lots of experience drinking beer, but not so much the knowledge base that I want to have.
I learned that bologna time is 420.
That's true.
Bologna time.
That was hysterical.
But how you were talking about the panel during the other podcast that we're doing a live recording. One thing their guest said that really made me think actually was how she was talking about how far do you get before it stops being a trend and stops being just beer and starts just being weird and something different. Like as far as like, once you start getting into things like if you said like a sour smoothie beer,
oh god,
like when does it stop being beer? And when does it start just being like different alcoholic beverage?
That's actually one of the things I wanted to bring up when we have Brad on.
When does it stop being a beer? And when does it start being a certain type of other alcoholic beverage?
Yeah. Maybe that could be we need to, when we start doing our traveling with this podcast, we need to have a set list of questions. And I think that could be a great question.
Yeah. Because
like you're going to get a different answer from each and every person. Yeah.
I think that's definitely a personal
I could pour some tequila in a smoothie and call it a beer. Does that make it a beer just because it's alcoholic?
Well, I think
no, because that's not.
Obviously, it's a whole different thing.
Obviously, the brewing process is a big part of it.
That's a completely wild take.
That's why I think it's a personal thing, because it really is dependent on what you yourself think as a beer. If you know what I mean. Like some people might have a beer and it's technically a beer, but it just doesn't really. I mean, even the Funkfest we're having, the one we just had in 2023, it's so much like a wine that you could almost argue that it's not really a beer because of the taste and stuff, but it's still a beer.
I think my personal opinion, and we'll wrap up this section with this. It's difficult to say with things that are actually the style like this because it's a Belgian triple. Things that are, I will say, like Southern Grist, for example, they put freaking cake batter in beer,
Yeah.
right? You get these lactose infused sours. You know, does it just become a malt beverage at that point?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing is. So that's going to be something we're going to need to talk to other breweries.
Discuss more about. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that another time.
Faux show.
All right, boys. I think it's time to take a little break here, and we'll get back at it.
Sounds good.
Well, happy May the 4th. It's actually the 8th.
Happy belated May the 4th.
You have May the 4th, Revenge of the 5th, Revenge of the 6th, because if you drink enough on the 4th, you have it for 2 days.
I mean,
But if you count the entire month, you have This is the May.
so you just got to drink every day in May.
How is it
Well,
different
it's
from
just-
your regular life?
I was just going to say Star
That's
Wars.
kind of what I'm trying to say.
I was just going to say Star Wars, but you
How
know,
does that differ from everyday activities?
I actually saw a post about
But
different days.
anyway, with that being said, we had the opportunity to be a part of the Gallatin May the 4th pub crawl. And what a spectacular time it was.
Yeah, it's my favorite day of the year. I go pretty ham.
I always look forward to it for sure. We started at the Big Trouble Brewing Company here in Gallatin.
With a Can You Shoot Better Than a Stormtrooper event.
It turns out I can't. Missed all 3 of my shots.
Yeah, you had 3 shots to knock down
Just failed.
18 cups.
That's because Mr. Mullet over here decided to take my ID and warp it last minute. Oh, yeah, you got to shoot from the hip like Han. I'm sorry, am I shooting better than Han or better than a Stormtrooper?
Stormtrooper.
Well, that means I got to aim down sights.
They fired from the hip all the time.
I'm going to fire you from my
Go
hip.
back to episode 4. See what happened.
I don't know.
Fired from the hip every time.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, when they're in the Death Star.
I meant like a sound.
Pew pew.
I don't mean, come on. But yeah, started there. Then made our way to BYH, bless your heart. Which
Had some Yoda shots.
some Yoda shots. Yeah, dude. They had some delicious charcuterie and some awesome beers on tap as well.
Yeah.
Had a tailgate shandy myself.
Ooh, yeah. Shandy was good.
See, then went over to Philly's Game and Grill, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phillies had they had Star Wars trivia. I did not partake because the last time I did Star Wars trivia was by myself and I won. I won the Phillies one, and then we did a team at Portland. I think it was 2 years ago. We won that one too. So I help people out with trivia. I don't partake myself.
What a humble little guy.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, went from Phillies over to our favorite place, Prince Street Pizza and Pub, to watch our good friends Alexander Lane Band throw some serious jams down.
Yeah.
Also had the costume contest.
Where our good friend Miss Allie won. She was dressed as Ray. She might not have known who Ray was, but she looked great. She was having a lot of fun. So
I will say I was very impressed with the amount of costume wearing participation this year
I will
in
say
comparison to previous years.
Anthony didn't get a good rep for his costume because people didn't know his reference,
Yeah.
It was a little
Um,
bit of a mixed reference.
Yeah.
but it was great.
It
So
was
he
great.
was Mace Windu, but he was Samuel L. Jackson as Mace Windu and also the character from Pulp Fiction. So he acted like the character from Pulp Fiction with the afro and the cigarette in his
he had
mouth.
the afro and the cigarette. And also
Um,
was just rocking his Jedi attire.
Yeah, it was hysterical. I loved it. Our buddy Matt was wearing a Darth Vader mask with a business attire.
Darth business.
Darth business.
I was my Jedi Huda Dorax, and Kenny here was Qui-Gon Jinn,
Yeah, per usual.
per usual.
Always rocking the boy. Got to be Qui-Gon every time, baby.
Yeah, it was fun. And then we went over to our spot at the end of the night.
Yeah, always
Um,
got to wrap it up at our spot. Solid time.
Kenny and I dueled in the parking lot twice.
Oh my goodness. We had to give the people what they wanted.
Yeah. and we just suffered the next
Yeah,
day.
the next day was just nothing but pure finger suffering. My fingers, I actually legitimately think that my ring finger on my left hand might have like a chipped bone
Oh no.
because it doesn't hurt when I move it, but when I touch that one specific spot, it's like searing pain.
See, this
So-
is why I have a newfound like love for Kylo Ren's lightsaber, because he didn't have his thumbs busted out,
This is why,
right? If you had a hilt
Yeah.
like Kylo Ren,
no, this is why Cal Kestis uses a gun.
true.
Like, no,
It's a
don't get
Jedi
too
Survivor.
close. Don't you smack my fingy.
Jedi Survivor, right?
Jedi Survivor.
That is the new game.
Yep.
But all in all, the pub crawl was an absolute success.
Yeah, it was a good one. I enjoyed it.
If you're hearing about it now and you didn't know about it before, well, there's always next year.
We'll see it next year on May 4th. Faux show.
Yeah, it was great. I did love how during the "Can you shoot better than a stormtrooper?" how the first 3 to 4 people who went did not hit anything whatsoever. We were shooting at solo cups with Nerf guns from the hip, sitting in a chair, as if you were Han shooting a Greedo.
Yep.
Not
And-
even 15 feet away.
I think Charisse was the first. to hit.
Charisse was our good friend Charisse was the first one to hit a cup at all after
Yep.
like 3 people had already gone.
Yep.
She
I believe
took
it was
like she
me.
won. Yeah.
It was me and Thomas and somebody else, and then
She won second, I think.
It was me, you,
it took
and
4
Matt.
people just to hit 1 cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird event.
So I'd
that
say
I
what have
did,
we
but-
learned today is that apparently we cannot shoot better than a stormtrooper.
I will also say that even with people aiming down the sights toward the end of the rounds, that they still couldn't hit
Yeah.
the tables.
Yeah.
And I gave them all 4 shots.
Would you say they were in big trouble? Got him.
Ha. Ha.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a fun event. It was a long day for sure. Long day for sure. Of course, we had a day of recovery, and then we did the Funk Fest. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, the Revenge of the Fifth was pretty rough. I crawled into the studio the next morning,
I was sitting here on my
basically
Xbox.
begging David to make me some breakfast.
Yeah, I was sitting here on my Xbox, trying to get some last minute kills for season 16, and I hear in the back going, "Ah!" And then I look over and Kenny's crawling on the floor. So
You literally crawled.
yeah, he literally crawled. We don't normally get people that
Well,
actually
they don't
crawl.
call it
but
they don't call it a pub walk.
that's right.
You got to go 4-wheel drive.
Right. Kenny was also going around on his longboard.
Oh,
Yeah, climbing up
that
on the longboard
that
was pretty
was
sick.
yeah. I had some folks telling me that they were sitting in the parking lot because they didn't start the pub crawl at the starting location. They decided to come to Prince Street first. So by the time we made it through the first 2 locations, I was riding my longboard through downtown Gallatin dressed as Qui-Gon Jinn, cruising the streets, and they came up to me at Prince Street and said, "Yeah, so we were just sitting in our car getting ready to get out, and we just see a Jedi swooping by us on a longboard." And they were like, we lost
It
it.
was a good night. It was a good night for sure. A lot of people driving by were yelling out, "May the force be with you."
I don't suggest riding any sort of wheeled vehicle while wearing a cloak.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
They tend to get caught.
Ooh.
Lesson learned. Or, get some like bobby pins. Or no.
Shorty capes.
Or shorter capes.
Shorter capes.
You could have listened to Edna Rose. Edna Mode.
Who the
I
fuck
think
is
it's
that?
Edna Mode. Yeah, Edna Mode.
Edna Mode.
From The Incredibles. No capes.
No capes.
That is a very accurate representation of that character.
Bitch, where's my super suit?
Where's my super suit?
You're what?
Oh, what an incredible
for the rest of
movie. Ow. Just hit my elbow after that joke. It's probably
That's pretty funny.
what
Shit
I
your
get
funny
for
bone.
making that joke.
Yeah, karma's a bitch.
Honey,
isn't
where's
it?
my super suit? You're what? My super suit.
Hmm.
It's for the great good.
It's both
The greatest good. You
I'm your wife. I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get.
God, I missed that movie.
Oh,
The second one was solid.
anyway, Star Wars pub crawl.
Right, Star Wars
Fun
pub
time had
crawl.
by all.
What was your favorite part, Thomas? What was your favorite part of the crawl?
Well, I think it was I think I like just hanging out at Prince Street the most, so it kind of I'm partial to that. I did miss BYH. I didn't get there. I had to go run some errands. And then at Philly's, I got to hang out with my dad and stepmom and my niece. We ate some dinner, listened to the trivia. But yeah, Prince was just ALB so fantastic. It's ridiculous how good they are. So that's always a good time.
Did you get to
I have a
listen?
video of Darth Business dancing, breaking it down.
Did they play the Star Wars music?
For a second, they played the Cantina song for like a second. Like
No, they
towards
had
the end of
other
the
stuff
costume part.
planned.
They
Were
did?
you there when they started?
No, I wasn't there.
No, I showed up shortly after.
They might
unfortunately.
have played it, but I've been sent videos of it by band members, and they're like, "Don't tell anyone." And that was the surprise that they were going to do this Star Wars music. And I don't know if they did for the actual crawl people,
Yeah,
but they did.
yeah.
They might have done it beforehand.
Because they started at 7, and we didn't get there till after 8.
It was like 8:30, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was fun. I always enjoy
I
pub
think I was
crawls.
the first Jedi to roll up, and as soon as I walked in the door, people were a little excited about it.
Mhm.
Not because I was there, but
Yeah.
because a
Because
Jedi.
Qui-Gon was there.
Because a Jedi arrived.
Because Qui-Gon was there.
Like, holy shit.
No one
it's
cares about
Qui-Gon
me.
Jinn.
What's your favorite Qui-Gon Jinn quote?
You know, when he gets stabbed.
He doesn't make that noise.
He doesn't. He actually just goes,
Yeah. It's
But-
more of a expression he makes on his face, like, oh shit. I just got stabbed. That's
Shit.
I think one of my favorite would be the one where he tells Jar Jar, just because you have the ability to speak doesn't mean you should. It's a good one.
That is also a good one.
Star Wars nerd.
I'm not sure what my favorite quote would be. I think he's just a pretty solid guy, honestly.
Tis he is.
Doesn't hurt that my aesthetic just matches his pretty perfectly.
Also true. I mean,
So-
and Allie did your hair perfectly. So
Shout
Yeah.
out to Allie, sticker approved. That was some sticker approved hair.
sticker
Sticker approved hair.
approved. That'd be a fun button to start working on. Get a little button that goes sticker approved.
Heard it first here.
That's right.
Next episode. if David's not too lazy, or whoever decides to say it, maybe that can be Thomas's last hurrah before he takes off out of town.
Yeah. Yeah, Thomas. I guess we're at that point here.
Well, we'll see exactly. I'm going this week to check it out.
Yeah, you're leaving tomorrow, right?
Leaving tomorrow to go check out a job in South Carolina. Might be moving down there, but I'm not setting anything in stone until I know for sure. But
Well, I'm already sad.
excited. I hope it happens. It's going to be a really great opportunity and really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I just find your lack of faith in this podcast disturbing.
Oh, I have so much faith in this podcast. You two are killing it.
We're doing something.
You're having fun. That's the important part.
That is true.
Keeping it funky.
Keeping it funky.
I'd say I think my favorite part of the pub crawl itself was honestly riding my board through town dressed as a Jedi and the funny looks I was getting from folks that had absolutely no idea that it was May the 4th or probably anything about Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, those are always the fun
Just-
people. They're just
yes.
like, what's going
yeah.
on?
What is happening?
The looks I got from some people on the road as I was just riding along on my board, cloak flowing in the wind, hair flowing in the wind, just looking at me like I was an absolute maniac.
You don't have to wait for pub crawls to do that, though.
You're not wrong.
We could just do that.
Make it a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Weekly thing, especially through the month of May. Weekly Star Wars.
This is the May.
Yeah.
See? It works.
I got to get one of those little baby Bjorns to keep Grogu on my chest, though,
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
as I stroll through town.
Din Grogu.
No
His last
spoilers,
name
no
is-
spoilers here.
Din Grogu.
They've had time.
It's been like a few weeks.
Yeah, that's plenty of time. I don't give people that much time for spoilers.
Has it even been a few weeks? Has it really been that long
Yeah.
since that episode came out?
Since the
It came out when I was on the road.
since the final
That's
episode of
right.
Mandalorian, it's been what, 3 almost weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this week is week 3.
Because being the best friends that David and I are, we waited until he got back out of town from his business trip to watch it together.
It's true.
Best
And an extra day
friends
because I got
do
caught
best
in
friends.
freaking Houston for 6.5 hours.
Best friends
Oh,
do
yeah.
stuff together.
Yeah,
Was
Star
indeed.
Wars. Star Wars is a big thing for me. So I kind of feel like people just let me be a Star Wars person
When
on.
are we gonna do an anime pub crawl? That's my question.
We're not.
Heard that.
We do 6 a year. There's
6 anime pub crawls a year. I'm
we do
for it.
6 pub crawls a year.
All right, you heard it here first. David Hayes, Japan.
What's the next pub crawl?
The Sumner summer pick.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm really glad I asked.
David
The
also
summer
can't talk.
kickoff of Sumner County. So we highlight the Sumner summer beer from Half Batch and Briar Scratch.
Oh,
Is that
gotcha.
a separate pub crawl from, or is that actually a pub crawl for that?
Yeah, we always did one. Are you talking about the Shindig?
The Shindig is not a pub crawl.
No, it's a
Neither
party
is
at the brewery.
Principalooza.
Correct.
That's why I was confused. I don't remember a Sumner Summer Kolsch brought to you by Briar Scratch Brewing
Mhm.
pub crawl.
Yep, that was the summer kickoff. We did it in late June usually. Oh, did your jaw lock up, bud?
Yeah, it hurt.
Oh,
I should quit trying to eat my mic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too bad
You
it's
wanted to
not-
get
it's
these
not
giant
true.
poofy things on top of them, so you're the one that made it more difficult.
You're a giant poopy thing. I'm going home.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
What
Kenny's
about you,
going
Dave?
home.
What was your favorite part of the pub crawl?
It's Star Wars Day every day.
Just the whole thing.
Yeah,
The whole thing was your favorite part.
Yeah, honestly, I
cop-out answer.
like seeing people in costume. I like seeing people with lightsabers, especially people that don't normally get into it.
Yeah.
That was a highlight. I knew Matt was going to do something. I knew Anthony was going to do something. It was nice to see my buddy Blake come out in his attire. It was nice to see those random guys we kind of met at Big Trouble. They all
Oh,
had
yeah.
lightsabers, even though Allie didn't know her costume.
Yeah, her
Um,
character.
It was
her
nice to
gang.
see that she participated.
Yeah. It is always fun to get people into something or at least have them appreciate it in some way.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll say for someone who doesn't know who Ray is, she did an absolutely fantastic job of replicating her hair.
Yeah, like that was,
Triple,
and she like
triple
acted.
bun.
She acted like it was going to take her forever to do it because I had to help her put the costume on because she didn't understand how all the
Yeah.
the roby things worked.
It's basically a bunch of scarves.
So I helped
It's
her.
pretty much like 10 scarves that you just wrap
Yeah.
around.
So
you.
like I helped her out with that, and then she was like, "We're like we're late. We're gonna go." And she's like, "Okay, well, we're just gonna let her lock up and walk out, you know." And by the time I like got the stuff into his truck, she was like, "Okay, I'm ready." And I was like, "What?" And she looked great.
Yeah.
She looked great.
I said, Allie, do you have a gun for your gun holster you have
Blaster. They don't have guns. They have blasters.
there? Okay. Anyway,
I'm doing fact checks live.
I'm about to check your facts. Anyhow, I said, do you have a blaster for your holster there?
Oh my god, this is an MMA
And she said,
The tension here.
she said, no, I don't. So I suggested that she could borrow my nunchucks, but I guess
Yeah.
that's not Star Wars enough.
She did say she was going to just use bubbles, and I was totally okay with that.
That would have been pretty funny.
A bubble gun?
No, she just had bubble wands.
Oh, a bubble gun would have been hilarious. Oh, I'm sorry, blaster.
That's right.
A bubble blaster.
Just saying, use the right terminology, man.
Oh, look, I'm a Jedi. I don't need a blaster.
That's right.
What does Obi-Wan say when he shoots?
So uncivilized.
Yeah. So uncivilized.
I like just how I can just.
Yeah, you got him down. You got him down.
Like David knows everything.
Not
He's-
everything.
he's way
Everything about
smarter
Star
than-
Wars.
He's way
Does-
smarter than me and Thomas. Apparently, he knows everything about beer, everything about Star Wars.
That's an easier question.
That was easy.
What Well, this one's another easy one. When in episode 3, when they're about to face Count Dooku, and Palpatine's like,
But
"You
Chancellor,
can't beat
Sith
him."
Lords are our specialty.
I can't even finish the question.
Speciality, sorry.
Our speciality.
Yeah.
Sith
Wow.
Lords are our speciality.
And in that moment, Count Dooku realized he was just a puppet.
But then Count Dooku did whoop Obi-Wan's ass.
He just force pushed him
Yeah.
into a railing.
And
Well,
then
so I
crushed
can't-
him with said
So you're
relic.
saying I can't call a blaster a gun?
That's what we're saying.
Sounds kind of suspect to me. Because only Sith steal absolutes.
So did Yoda.
But you know, him saying that is also an absolute.
Do or do not. There is no try. That's an
That's an
absolute.
Only
Absolute
Sith Lords
bullshit.
steal an absolute.
Yoda
is
was
an
a Sith.
absolute.
Oh my god, he might be.
And who was your sister? The wicked.
I know Luke absolutely kissed his sister.
Also true.
We don't talk about that.
And then Han realized it on Endor.
Yeah.
Oh, we did go see the movie.
We did go see episode 6 for the 40th anniversary.
And let me tell you right now, I was about to straight up bitch slap some people.
Yeah,
I've never been so upset in a movie in my life.
it was because they did the digitally edited version of
Oh
it.
no, I'm not talking about the edited version.
Oh, the talking?
I'm talking about these fools behind us that just decided, oh, I'm gonna drive to the one out of like what 2 theaters that were showing it in Middle Tennessee. I'm gonna go all the way out to this theater, buy a ticket to see this movie that's 40 years old,
Yeah.
and sit here and talk the whole time.
Yeah, that was pretty raunchy.
Oh man.
But like, do you stand up and say something, or do you just like think about it the entire time?
I
You
thought about it
should-
the
you
entire
should stand
time.
up and say something.
No, I thought about it the entire time. And you know why? Because exactly what happened when I was getting pissed off. Luke was talking to Palpatine and he was like, let the hate take over you. And I was like, I won't let it take over me. I won't let it
Yes.
take over me. I will not fall to the dark side.
You guys followed the path
Use
of
your
the Jedi.
saber.
I tried
Strike me down.
I wanted to,
Fulfill your destiny.
they were about to get struck down so hard.
We should have brought our sabers.
Oh my God.
If you guys had taken out your sabers and got them to stop talking, that would have been a hilarious story.
Y'all better shut up.
Man, I wish.
I will say a good highlight of the pub crawl was people like they were asking about the lightsabers and we were showing them our lightsabers, but them using mine and doing the wrist twist
Oh yeah.
to turn it on, they were like, oh, this shit's next level.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it was.
David has a lot of experience twisting his wrist. Anyway, I will say one of my favorite parts about the pub crawl was just like, especially at Prince Street, there was one point where we were hanging out, just chilling with the homies, you know, chatting it up, and these 2 people walked up to us and they were like, hey, our son really wants to get a picture with you and he's been really nervous and I want to ask you guys. It just made me so happy. I was like, oh, tell him to come up here. Like he came up there and, you know, took a picture of me and Ray and Darth Business.
Darth Business.
Hell
And
yeah,
I was
that's
like, here
awesome.
you go. I was like, here you go, buddy. Here, you can hold the lightsaber. And it just made his day.
I don't even know that happened. I guess I was inside.
No, I think it was before you showed up. I think you were still at Phillies at the time.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
they
was
walked
with,
up and it just felt nice to make that kid's day. Just like, yeah, come take a picture. Here, hold the lightsaber.
I was
buddy."
hanging with our friends from
He was having a good
Rambling
time, man.
Bee.
Should have seen the smile on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with Morgan and Caitlin
Nice.
from Rambling Bee, hanging out with him.
They're my dad was telling me this. My dad's neighbors.
Yeah, they're upset none of y'all ever talk to them.
Well, I mean, I'll see them, but yeah, I do the neighborly thing and just walk away. My dad knows them.
I wouldn't want to talk to you if you
I
were
know.
my
I
neighbor.
actually know. I've met their dad a few times.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk if you were my neighbor either. So
Well, I mean, I don't live there anymore. It's not my fault anymore.
right.
I don't speak to my neighbors where I live now, but that's beside the point.
Beside like a neighbor.
Shut up. But yeah, no, I thought another really cool thing was you guys recreating your picture.
Oh yeah,
That was
Yeah.
really cool.
Recreating the May the 4th lightsaber cross.
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Sure that will
was
be
fun.
posted on our Insta.
Yeah, we have a bunch of photos for this episode for sure.
Yeah. So pretty exciting week. We've done a lot of things.
It was quite the eventful week for
Lot of
sure.
drinking.
Right. Full episode on just 2 days. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know about a lot of drinking, just Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah.
That was a lot
For
of
me, at
drinking.
least. I don't know about you guys.
Well, especially the Funk Fest, that was a lot. The drinking from noon until whenever
5.
the hell we stopped drinking.
5. Well, I stopped before y'all because I had to drive home,
Yeah.
and then we just immediately came to Prince Street.
Can we talk about how much of a trooper David is? What a great guy.
Yeah, being the
No, he's a know-it-all.
He's getting us back safely. Though. He got us to our.
I can forgive.
location safe.
I can forgive you, but just this one time. Maybe again later if you drive me.
okay. 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. I highly recommend getting a DD.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all need to be responsible.
It only takes a few bologna sandwiches, smoked.
Dude, I ate
Bologna.
so much food at the Funk Fest, though. I think I had more food than I did beer, honestly.
You did. You went up there, like three or four more times than us.
Yeah, I had a ton of food.
Yeah.
You had that one thing that we didn't even try. The it was like on like flatbread naan
Lamb,
type thing.
strawberry.
Oh,
We forgot
yeah.
about that one. We didn't even mention that one earlier.
No, we didn't. It was like lamb, strawberries, avocado,
Yeah. It was on
and
like flatbread almost, or
yeah, it was like a flatbread.
yeah.
Naan.
It was
Might
either
have been
flatbread or
naan, yeah.
naan. Big naan guy.
But yeah,
Love some good naan.
Well,
David is quite the food boy.
always.
I just waited for the massive glizzies.
They were good too. They did mustard and
They had
pickles.
big
Mustard,
they had
pickle.
like big baguettes, and I almost walked up and was like, "How much do I have to pay you
just for one.
just for one log and just slap it in a baguette?" And I'm just gonna walk around and feast on this thing for the next 4 hours.
I would have done it.
We'll have to make our own. We'll make our
Smoke
own
some
massive
bologna.
glizzies.
Oh yeah, dude.
No, big glizzy.
Smoked bologna.
smoke some big glizzies.
I think you're mistaking the word smoked bologna for big glizzy.
I won't do it.
Well, that'll be for another episode.
Yeah.
So Kenny's not here anymore. He had a heart attack.
He had a big glizzy.
He had 1.5 big glizzies.
Yeah.
And will not be here for this episode. Live from the ER. We are Tennessee on Tap.
Kenny, how you feeling today, bud?
Full.
That's funny. That's a wrap for episode 5.
Thanks to our friends at Yazoo for our opportunity to go to the Funk Fest. Big thanks to our friend Thomas, who's been backing us since day one.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Tennessee on Tap and send us a message about your favorite Tennessee craft.
Or email us at tennesseeontap@gmail.com.
Remember, folks, life's too short for bad beer, so crack open a cold one with us. We're Tennessee on Tap. This thing. Oh, God.